Howdy folks, welcome to FIGMA, a little calendar app project. So what we're basically going to do is use components in FIGMA and create a little calendar widget prototype that has these 3 months as our kind of calendar fill-in, and then within October here, the main month, this is just to show that we can navigate between months with our arrows, right? Then within October here, all these numbers are going to be prototyped to bring up the blank day. And that's just going to be a stand-in for, if you click on a day, a little compressed version of your schedule pops up. But then on these pop-ups, we're going to have an option to throw it full screen. And that would be a scenario in your calendar app where you need a more detailed view of that day's tasks or more detailed options or something. And then we're going to add some buttons in here on October. One for a busy day where you have a full schedule and it's a chance to show us, what it looks like when you populate this with elements. And then we're going to have like 3 days, 3 or 4, however long a trip is, to correlate to the trip days schedule. And so if you click on any of the days on the trip, this consistent version of our pop-up will pop up. And then we'll have a holiday one where, it's a chance to make it themed or have a special extra set of scheduling elements. And yeah, each one will have a full page version. And so in Adobe XD, the trick was like you could do it all on one artboard, but components so far that I've picked up on work kind of different, where you still use artboards or frames and make variants rather than, well, states worked similarly in XD anyway, but I learned XD first. Now I'm doing Figma. And we made the calendar project work. So first thing I did is there's no frames or artboards here. And let me... Oh no, having them grouped is fine right now. Well, I'll just ungroup them. So I just built with shapes the different elements, and I was just wanting to show you what elements you'll need to get started with the artboard. The beginning of the component. So this is like after you've fully designed all your assets and you made your calendar themed how you want it to look and whatnot. Mine are just stand-ins. I'll do an example one with more of a design theme chosen, but I just wanted to have more of a template version to show y'all for this. So I built it with no frames, and so they're just assets that I like to, everyone wants backwards compatibility. So I'm going to copy these. I'm going to come over here. And so you'll just always have your original design elements in case you change it and whatnot. Yeah. So over here, now these might become older versions because that's just to have an archive of your stuff on this frame because it's free space. You can just put it over here, and yeah, I had them grouped from the previous run through of this project I did. Group 1, and you can just call it like original elements or something, and maybe there's something you delete and need to come back to this to grab it and throw it in the group. But here is basically we'll have the same thing, but I am going to add some stuff in on this version. But the first thing we're going to do is turn all of these into components themselves, and that's going to be a way to nest these designs. And so when we make the calendar later in the various states, you won't have to change designs on all the different variant states. You can just come back to here, your original group, your nest, your pre-comp, if you're from After Effects, or collection from Blender, and updates you do in here will reflect in all the variants of your calendar. Yeah. But so as I said, I want some titles up on here. So let's just copy this over here and paste it. Nothing crazy. Yeah. Oh, this thing, blank day. So we have in our groups, empty day. I've just been switching between calling it. Oh, and there's no group yet. Okay. Oh, we can put it on top of the layer there. We can group that and call it blank day full. Busy day. Where's that at? That we can bring it over here. We can group that. Full for full page. You can do different stuff, different labeling conventions. And I'm doing it this way without frames, because a lot of this dragging and stuff, it can throw hiccups and knock things off of frames and out of frames and stuff. It can be frustrating to keep it all grouped, but just mind your groups. Let's see. Yeah, just gonna put that there. Okay. Let's name this blank. Busy trip. You see these nice titles of things? You want that. Then my right and left arrow aren't in the group because we're going to plan for this to be our main page. Yeah. And so, yeah, these will stay on top because we want them to float. Or this is for me, like with y'all, you can make a choice here. You can embed your arrows in your month pages and have them move, but this effect will have it to where these glide underneath my arrows. You'll see that later. So you can have individual arrows on each month if you want, but they will move when you animate them, and you'll just have to, what you call it, prototype arrows over here as well. But that's fine too. So, because I'm going to have the effect where it slides underneath and floats. I do want to change it to probably night theme. Okay, so we have all these. And what you need to do is right click, create component. September group. Cool, that one's fine. Component, and I'm going to deselect these guys. Create component. Okay, I can just do that. And we're seeing a shortcut there. What's that shortcut? Control-Alt-K. Mac users, it might be different. Command-Alt-K. I'm hitting Control-Alt-K. Anyway, that's fine. Create component. And we're doing this to get animations from changing states rather than from changing frames. So this is all to get these kind of cool slide in and out pop-ups. Create component. Create component. And I guess I can turn these into a component. Why not? We'll see if that affects it later. All right, now these are all components. No frames. And this is what we'll copy to make our new component that will become what we prototype and create various states to before we nest this into a single frame and have it move around. There might be better ways to do it. This is me figuring out an old project the first time through, but maybe that's something I can find out along the way. I'm sure there's 10 different ways to do this. So we're going to copy and paste. So we have instances of these components. When you copy and paste your components, you see the different icons here. It's an instance. That means whatever I change over here also changes over here. It cascades down. And so that is how we can keep these intact, and you can make design changes over here and your states will update and cascade down all the different variants, not states. Now you might have to re-prototype some things if you delete some buttons instead of converting them, or if you bring in fully different text. But if you just like change the font in the text, it should update. But if you delete and replace assets, you'll have to repeat the prototyping process on those new assets. So what else? Oh, in October, before we move forward, so all of our numbers here are gonna react to the blank day, but I want to, in October here, make some buttons that'll signify. Let's get my color. Let's do the holiday. Let me make it first. Okay. 28, 29, 30, 31. Or Halloween was on Thursday this year, because I can go and change these numbers. So I'm going to do it this way. And yeah, in Figma, there's probably different ways to code this in a better way. Or you would code it for this asset to pop up when you clicked on a blank day and selected the option to schedule it as a holiday, or this would be in an update from the calendar app proprietor if they pre-mark holidays, which that's usually the case. So let me sample this color I chose for the holiday. And so that's going to be my holiday button. And make it see-through. We could add, can you do, I don't know if there's blending modes yet. That's fine, half opacity. And I'm putting it on top, and that way it will block this number for being pressed to go to a blank day. And then let's say that's Alt click that I clicked on to move that, duplicate that circle. Let's say October. You know, this, let's put it there. That day is a busy day. And we'll go here, sample that color, make it translucent. And now we need to do a trip, and you can do it different ways. Like you could have multiples of these show up, or you can create, you know, a different vector shape that is, what if it's combined? I found out doing this will get me what I want. Let me select my trip color. There we we go. So, and these are all in here, and I can rename these. Trip button, or you know, better conventions would be B for button, trip. B, busy day. B. Oh wait, this is trip. I misspoke. This is holiday. There's no buttons in the October group. And again, all these guys will just kick over to blank day. And then we can see over here in our instance, they're in there. So it cascaded down. And one thing I want to do is we're going to move these on top of each other because you want the animation easing in and easing out to be at the same rate. So if this guy's got to animate from this far away, when we do like smart animate as our option for the transition, the animation might work different. So I'm just going to know what's on these and I'm going to stack them on top of each other. So we might be working from our layers a little bit. Whoops. Just letting them snap. And if you're trying to do this with frames, they'd have been popping in and out of each other and stuff. It's frustrating. But to begin the prototyping process, we do need a frame. So I don't know if this is the best way, but it worked. I think it is the way. This is the way to do it. We are going to get a frame. And we can make it about as wide as our assets. So now they're all in that frame. Cool. And I would say change. I would change the frame color, but actually I'll change the frame color because I want, when I go do my design one, it'll be more of a dark mode thing. Let's just change that a little bit, or a lot of bit. Yeah, and this you'll see in between as we animate. So you'll see this color. So you can use an image or a texture or something, but you'll see when we get there. Okay, so we've made a frame. Our instances of our calendar asset components are right here. And we're ready to go. So now this frame and everything in it will make a component. And so now this is a component that can have, go to component here, add variant. And we can animate to a different variant. And so we got this default, which I'm going to make it say variant, V for variant, October default. Okay. And this variant, V, let's just have it navigate to September. And so on and so forth. And what we'll eventually do is we'll make a final frame that this will be what our final frame is of all these varianted components and whatnot. And so to do that, you'll go to assets. And we get our frame 1 component. We should have renamed that. But that's what it is. And that's how we can easily get a variant of our state or this is how we get an instance of our varianted artboard. the artboard that we're making the variants with. So this, you know, you hover into the frame. So now it's popped into the frame. So we can call that main frame. We can call this calendar variants. I can spell it right. There we go. So this here we can line up, right, to fit. Okay. And this we don't have to do anything with. This just exists and lives. And this is what we show as our final piece. This is the final composition that you use. Unless there's probably other reasons you can come up with adding stuff to this one. Like you can add other components that do different things on here and all have different levels of interactivity, or nest components within these states or variants, or nest them in here. Actually, you can do a lot of different ways. So this variant right here, we want, this is September. Yeah, variant September. When you click October, or click that arrow, September's going to slide over. And you want to make sure, you know, you're lining up right. You want to be pixel perfect. I mean, you'll notice when you go to record it and prototype it, if you have a little grid line on the side. Okay, so September slides over. So to make that happen, we go on our variant here, and this arrow, we can go over to prototype, add an interaction, on click, not navigate to, change to, and then our September variant. What's the animation? Instant dissolve. I'm building this to have the smart animate thing where things look cool and slide in and out. So let, you know, do smart animate. You can throw in multiples if you want, like different ones do different things. Maybe I'll do dissolve for the full day, or, you know, the full special page. Anyway, all right, so we can go here and these states will show up, or these variants will show up as we interact with this. So let me change the preview. Okay, y'all can see that. And that black line's okay, right? Yeah, that's just fit with. Okay, fine. We'll see if that works. Anyway, so yeah, that means our button here will go to September. And we don't have anything prototyped yet. I'm hitting R to reset it. So that works. And that's what that'll look like. September will come over and October will go away. Now you could have October slide off also. Like we go here and we have October slide out, which is something I'll do in mine because I don't want a whole background card to slide over. So you can mess with transparencies and stuff that way. And that's all we have to really do for the September variant. Not, what you call it, prototyping wise. But, all right, let's go to the next one. So the next state, or the next variant, I mean, is November. And all we have to do is slide that over, slide that one over. So I am gonna go, let's move October. I'm gonna hide September, grab October, and that way, yeah, that'll be cool. So it'll slide out from underneath the arrows that are floating on top. And there's other, yeah, since that being its own component, it stays floating on top. So that's another way to think about the layers of interactivity. And if you do have things that you want to be permanent on here, permanently on your interface. All right, so we move that over. Now this one, slide November real quick. We'll slide October over. Okay, November's back. Yeah, and so that's November. Excuse me. And okay. So what's our next state? We start on, well, variant. October, or what we're gonna do is blank pop-up would be your next state. So let's get in here. Let's move November back. Hold on. Let's move October back. And then we can move November back. Oh. Move November back and have our even spacing. Yeah. Okay. And this is blank pop-up. So blank pop-up. Let's get it to where I can grab it. It'll pop up and be like a half page. And it looks like, okay, it's like 1 pixel off. So it looks like we'll have to do some nudging on all these. Which if I was responsible, I could go back and nudge it from this guy, but that's a minor enough one for this. But you do want to be pixel perfect on your frames and your alignment, depending on your design. So blank pop-up, that's it. Okay. So another variant. So instead of doing all the pop-ups at once, let's do them and their corresponding full days at the same time. So blank full. And depending on how you want to do this, like say if I just move that here, and you do want it to be on top of the arrows because it will cover the navigation. Now, if you want it like that, it will come over your blank day. Or we could move them down here and have them pop up. I mean, there's ways to make variants and whatnot where this would just extend up full screen, and you can have the different states have the compressed and expanded version of your schedule details and whatnot, because you know you won't have a difference in what it displays between the two. Maybe not on this one, but on your busy day, on the half version, you might just have the titles of your events, but on this full page version, it might have details like the location and the specific times or who the meeting is with or something like that. So it kind of depends on what you want to do, but for brevity's sake, we'll just do it this way. Okay. This is blank full. What is this? This variant is busy pop-up. Yeah. And so let's move blank day back. Move this blank day back. See those pixels that it's off? Let's get our busy pop up. Move that there. There we go. Busy pop up, busy pop up. And, you know, once you see how the animation works, you can change, like, layer visibilities. Like, when busy day pops up over the blank day, half day, do you want it to come up and cover it? Or do you want blank day to instantly disappear and busy day shows up? That's stuff we can think about. Okay. Busy day pop up. That's it. Variant. Busy day full. Put that there. Put that there. Okay. Trip pop up. Trip pop up. Bam, 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 bam. There we go. Trip full. So we're making these variants, and you see me moving stuff back because you want the animations to reset when you're doing these variants, because you have to think about, like, layer order stays the same, and how does the asset get back to that kind of staging area that it was in. Yeah, because it might not, it'll animate different if the pop-ups don't go back down and you go to another pop-up day and then navigate between the two. It might just kind of fade in because it never got queued to go back down between two particular previous states. Anyway, trip full. I'm hoping this isn't an issue. Moving these layer orders for these guys. We'll see. Trip full. Okay. And it's just holiday now. Okay. I'm nudging them to get perfect there. Okay. And then variant. Holiday full. To put you there. Now, ideally that layer order doesn't. Okay, so that's all of our variants, right? So it looks like a lot, but, you know, we don't have too many buttons, and on a big, like, full project like this, I don't know, it might be your, you know, something like this be your full-time job that you take measured bytes out of as you go, and definitely build things up from other nested components and whatnot. All right. So the next thing is just on October, or, you know, whatever occupies this main frame space in the various states, you know, you need to prototype what you want to be clickable. So we're going to go in here and okay. So this guy, we navigated to the September state. And this one, on click, change to the November state. Okay. And then this one, that's our busy day. Interaction. Change to busy pop-up. This one, interaction. Change to trip pop-up. And see, I'm kind of cheating there because this shape covers these 4 items. And so that way I cover up the 4 days that a trip would, you know, be triggered. And actually I need to go back and change these to smart animate. Okay. And then this guy, the dates, change to blank pop-up. Smart animate. Okay, so this page is now been prototyped, and we can at least do that. So I got my little prototype here, an R for refresh. So click that, go to September. None of these are prototyped yet, so just hit R. Okay. That goes to busy day, the pop-up, trip days. Okay. Wait. Oh, I didn't do that yet. I forgot one. I forgot the holiday. Holiday pop-up, smart animate. And you saw when I didn't have anything prototype for that, it defaulted to the text underneath it that I was clicking on. Okay. Blank day, holiday, trip days. You see the artboard shift? So somewhere in my states or in my variants, something got moved, not pixel perfect. So use your guides and snap things, but that's why you see my October subtly shifting. It was like in the 2nd or 3rd state, I guess. Variant, not state. But they call them states here too. Okay. Calendar variants done. September variant, easy peasy. It's just these 2. So let's just have this loop back around in November. In the future, you expand this project, you do all 12 months, you know what to do. But this, we'll just have it change to, we'll loop around to November. And this one here, change to back to October default. Do the smart animate. Okay. Excuse me. All right, November. Let's prototype our November variant. This one, change to, that goes back to October default. Smart animate. This one loops around to September. Smart animate. Okay. That's all we need on those. Now this one can get a bit tedious, right? Because we have to like re-prototype all these things. Or I guess like you could nest in October within, you know, as a component within that. And so then this October would always bring these up, even if you don't prototype it in the various states here. That's like nesting or variants, nesting variants and variants, which is, as you get further down the rabbit hole with a project like this, and you're making it to actually go out to the public as a fully functioning calendar, I'm sure the goes deep. The rabbit hole goes deep and splits off in tons of different ways. For now, we're just going to prototype these few items on each page. So we'll want to be able to go to November, of course, on each one. Yeah, like these might be prototyped to where they're constantly, anyway, you get it. November. September. Okay. Yeah. On click, since we're on the blank day pop-up, we can have it change back to October default. And that way it like drops down the blank day. And we'll do that on each page where there's an option to click again and this goes away. So it'll get out of there. Okay. On click, change to busy pop-up, smart animate. Trip. On click, change to trip pop-up, smart animate. On click, change to holiday pop-up. And blank day here, like let's say you click on the title, change to, maybe we go back to default. Like that's another way to get rid of it. And then if we click this arrow over here, it changes to full. Blank full. Smart animate. Smart animate. Okay. Is that everything on this page? Yeah. Okay. So now we go to this one. On blank day, this is easy. Let's just prototype blank day to be how we get back to the blank pop-up day. And that's all we need. We just need to be able to look at it. And the text, people will know to click on the text. So that one's easy. Unless you want to put stuff in there that does other things, you can't. Now we're here again. Change to November. Change to September. Oh yeah, and so we want this to not smart animate. Let's have it dissolve to the full day. That'll be what I do different there. Okay, these, since we're not on the blank pop-up anymore, we'll have them pop up the blank days. So it's like you can navigate between your different pop-ups. Okay, now this one collapses it. Uh-oh. On click. Yikes. What did all that do? Back to default. It collapses busy day. Smart animate. Okay. Trip. Change to trip pop-up. Smart animate. Interaction. Change to holiday pop-up. Smart animate. These ones have that. Busy day will collapse. Change to October default. Smart animate. This one changes us to busy full. But we're going to do dissolve. Yeah. Okay. And so then we just come here, busy day, easy peasy. Interaction on click, change to busy pop-up. And I guess we want that to be dissolve as well. let's go back up to blank day. It's going to be dissolve. Okay, we're almost there. We just got two more. You know, two more detailed ones. All right. On click, change to November. Smart animate. Change to September. Smart animate. Okay. This one. Change to, that's our busy pop-up. Whoops. I get so caught up in it. I just have to remember to click that one more thing. Change to, back to default. And I skipped the thing again. So holiday pop-up, smart animate, smart animate. Okay. Oh, I didn't have that there. Okay, on click, change to blank pop-up, smart animate. Okay, that. Unclick, change to default. But then here, on click, change to trip full, dissolve. Trip days, easy peasy. On click, change to trip pop up. Let's dissolve. You could have it go back to just the blank October default as well if you wanted the pop-up to just go away, but I think you'd, yeah, it's like you'd stacking doll kind of go back and forth. Okay. Last big one to prototype. All right, we got that. Interaction, on click, change to November, smart animate. We got that. On click, change to September, smart animate. That. On click, change to busy pop-up, smart animate. Interaction, on click, change to trip pop-up, smart animate. Did I do that there? Okay. What about this? On click, change to blank pop-up, smart animate, holiday. On click, change to, oh, this is holiday pop-up, so default, smart animate. That. On click, change to, that'll take us, it'll collapse the pop-up basically. Change to holiday full, but we're going to do dissolve. And did I do smart animate on that? No. Okay. And this one, you just want something to change to holiday pop-up, dissolve. All right. I could have done a little, well, I did do a demo when we did the first page, but now all of our states, and you know, you can do a little remixing in here in certain places depending, but this is kind of the default base that I want y'all to achieve with these little calendar component prototypes. So we've gone through each variant and we prototyped all the things on the pages, and of course there could be a way to where you don't have to prototype the arrows every time, where you can make them a nested component with their various states, but I don't know, you'd still have to No, it could, no. You'd have to have the states created for all the nested variants in order for you to be able to prototype them to those variant states for it to pop up in this list here. And I don't know if other variant states from other components would pop up in here, if there's a dividing line when that happens, that it shows you like what groups these are from. But that can be something a little different. That's a whole can of worms right there for a different day. But how long is this thing? About 50 minutes. That's a little bit of a long tutorial. And I wanted to make this a recording. Yeah, because this can be something complicated. I want folks to be able to pause and go through it. Okay. That means our main frame here, if we hit this, October, November, you know, nothing, we didn't prototype anything here because I don't need anything. I would get it. If we had a budget and time, we could make you do the whole year or whatever, right? But we get it. So we loop around to September, October. Do our buttons work here? And you see how my arrows are stationary and the calendar sliding underneath them. You can, that's one crack in the crust layer of doing some cool tricky stuff, I guess. Okay, back to October. Okay, busy day, and things shift. And I click that, and so when I'm clicking busy day on the busy day pop-up variant, we go back to the default, right? Same thing here. Why can't I see? Give me full view. Responsive? No. Resize? Is that what I want? I want you to be able to see this. Oh my god. Fit width. Fit height? Will that work? Okay, so we're seeing the full thing. All right, we're back. Got that. Okay, and I like the dissolve, I guess. And that goes back. Trip. Up and down. We dissolve. We collapse. Holiday. See, we nudge something somewhere in the early stages of our variant process, and that's why we get this little slight shift back and forth of October between all the pop-ups. Then we got a blank day. And yeah. So that's making our little nested component with variants calendar prototype. So, you know, build all your assets first, like to their final finishing finished stages. And that way, you know, you won't accidentally make yourself have to re-prototype something. But you can make the minor changes, you know, back here. It'll be responsive. Like, let's see, we could change this guy in the design. We can do a dark mode. Ooh, I guess with these, within the group, I'd have to select them all. There we go. That wasn't too bad. We can make a dark mode on these guys. Let's just sample our friend over here. Arrows. Okay, I didn't have to select them all. Okay, cool. November. Oop, don't do that. Okay. And so that means over here in all of our variants, we now have a dark mode. And then of course over here in our main prototype frame, you know, we'd have to make some more design adjustments in here to kind of make this match a dark mode. Because now, you know, maybe we want to match this kind of green color instead of this bright one. But yeah, that's the benefits of the cascading or, you know, nested components within components before you make the variants. So yeah, they all changed all the way down the line, which is nice. Okay. Well, remember, first step is creating the assets and get it as created and beautiful and in its finished stage as you can, and then get into the creating components and then creating like a master component with all the variants, and then your final frame. All right, let me know if you have any questions.